Athletes, welcome back. We've got another great day of fitness planned for you. We've got a multitude of movements for you. Some would even say it's the flavor town of fitness because we got Bobby Flay coming your way. We got Peter and we got Hayden. Get ready for dumbbell power cleans. We've got line hops. We got double unders. We got single unders. We got jumping lunges. Anything you could possibly want. It's the buffet of fitness. Get ready, get set. Here comes the warm up. Athletes, your warm-up is here. Now, I'm gonna explain this one before we get started. We are going into 20-second periods of work, and we're gonna go for 3 rounds total. So we're gonna be moving fast. Watch our athletes because you'll know what to do. We are starting in 10 seconds. We've got Peter starting out with step overs as lines, and then we've got Hayden doing jumps with no rope. We're starting in 3, 2, 1, and go. Now, Peter is staying in an active position. This is an option for the workout as well, making sure that we are keeping that upper body active as we step over that line. Hayden's doing his hop with no rope for this round. We are going to be moving into step back lunges for Peter and touch and stands for Hayden in 3, 2, 1, and go. So with our step back lunges, we are touching our back knee to the floor. We've got Hayden taking his invisible dumbbell for this round and touching on the outside of his foot and then switching after he stands tall with that dumbbell to the other side and then going through that. We're gonna switch over to Peter for up downs to a seal pose down dog and the same thing for Hayden now. So go into your up down for me, which is a burpee with no push up. You go down to the floor with your hips and then send those hips up towards the ceiling. We hop up. We're gonna go back to our up down, into our seal pose, and then into our our down dog, and then we're gonna stand. Now, Peter is going into jumps with no rebound. We've got Hayden going into single unders. So we're gonna go ahead and get started now. Single unders can be very difficult when you're proficient at double unders, so if this is a skill you haven't practiced in a while, I encourage you to do so. We are gonna be switching over to step forward lunges for Peter, and then we are going into a single arm dumbbell clean for Hayden now. So go ahead and grab your dumbbell, grab your floor space. With our step forward lunges now, we are touching that back knee to the floor, making sure we're staying active on that front working leg. And then you already know that I got up downs with a seal pose with down dog coming your way in 3, 2, 1, and switch over to your up downs. Hips go to the floor, hips go to the ceiling, and then you're gonna hop up or step up. You go back into your up down, drop those hips, push those hips up, and then you're gonna hop up. We are going to be moving into line hops with the rebound for Peter, and then double unders for Hayden in 3, 2, 1, and go. Hayden makes double unders look way too easy, so if this is a movement that you're working on, don't get discouraged. You can do as many. He messed up on purpose. I told him to do that. You can work on this skill. If you mess up too many times, you can switch to single unders for the workout. We are moving into jumping lunges for Peter, and we're moving to double dumbbell cleans for Hayden now. So go ahead and switch over. Peter is doing our dreaded jumping lunge, which both legs count as 1 rep. So when you count this, it's 1, 1, 2, 2. We got Hayden doing the double dumbbell clean, and he's taking those to the outside of his feet, touching 1 dumbbell held to the floor, and then up to his shoulders. I'm gonna make him get in a power position. You know I am. Now, put those dumbbells down, and we are going into burpees for the remainder of this warm-up. And I told you have 20 seconds, but we may go a little longer than that. Don't look at me. It doesn't start until we get started. So when we wanna start, we can. Burpees? All right, let's do it. So down to the floor. Now during this time, you are gonna figure out how you want to move, whether you wanna jump or step out and into these burpees. Pick what you feel is gonna be the most efficient for you, because in this workout, every time you get to your burpees, you have 25 reps. So rather than being like, oh my gosh, I have to do 25 reps, you need to change that mindset and tell yourself you get to do 25 reps and figure out what strategy will allow you to do that and move right on to the next movement. We are resting in 3. I'm waiting for you to do another one. 2, 1, and that is it. The warm-up is over. Great job, athletes. Grab your water, turn your cell phone on silent, get yourself ready for whatever you need, because your workout is coming up next. Athletes, welcome back. The workout is starting now. We've got 10 seconds. So go ahead and make your way to your line hops or your double unders. We are starting in 3, 2, 1, and go. Now for today's workout, we went over a couple of different variations during our warm-up that you're gonna be able to use if you find that some of these movements are too difficult, or if you just don't have the skills today. If you guys are working on your double unders and you're having difficulty linking those together, I would recommend going for as many reps as you can until you mess up 3 times on each double under set. And at that point, you're gonna switch over to the rest of single unders. So if I'm able to get 25 reps done and I mess up on my 26th rep for the 3rd time, then that means that I'm gonna do the remainder of those reps in singles. We got Peter switching over to his lunges, and we got Hayden switching over to dumbbell power cleans. Now, with our jumping lunges, Peter can go fast. He's like Roadrunner fast, but he is purposely pacing this workout out because we have 15 minutes of work today. So it doesn't make sense to go as fast as you possibly can so that you're set up for a fatigue deficit when you get to your burpees. So keep yourself at a pacing that you feel like you could maintain for 20, 25 minutes versus the 15 that we have in here. So he's done with his lunges, and then we've got Hayden finishing up with his dumbbell power cleans, and both athletes are going into their burpees. Now, Hayden is doing the unconventional, doing burpees on the jump rope. I always recommend clearing out your area, but he's a trained professional, and he's making sure his transitions are super fast. So we got both athletes on their 25 burpees here, and then they're gonna go back into their double unders and their line hop. Now, whatever's going on with lower body, if we have difficulty with jumping, we can always do our line step overs, and we're actually gonna see Peter switch over to our out and ins for his 2nd set of line hop. If you've been with me before, you know that I prefer the out and ins to line hops for a lot of athletes. It's easier on your knees, it's easier on your feet, easier on your ankles, but you can do whichever version that you prefer. I'm not gonna tell you that there's one that's better than another because they both hit equally the same stimulus, so it's personal preference on that movement, what you would like. I gotta talk a long time because we have 25 burpees, which is a difficult amount of reps to talk through, but both of our athletes are doing a great job. And again, you saw both of our athletes pick a pace that they can maintain all the way through this set. They're not worried about racing against each other. You shouldn't be worried about racing against the person that's doing this workout with you or even with our athletes. You want to find the pace that you can personally maintain and focus on trying to do that for the entirety of the 15 minutes because that's what's going to make you better. Trying to be faster than someone else's pace doesn't necessarily result in the best stimulus for you in a workout like today. So after our 25 burpees, again, we're moving into line hops and our double unders. Today's workout is very calf and very ankle intensive. You got a lot of jumping, a lot of explosive movements that you're doing. So take a second in between your movements if you need to give yourself some ankle circles or anything there so that you can get yourself ready. I hate to do this to Hayden, but he's got to go to double unders and we can't count those power cleans. But he's just giving Peter a little bit of a lead. So he told me he was going to make it look like a mistake, and he's off on that jump rope once again. Now, Hayden's doing a great job of keeping his double unders with hands slightly in front of his body and keeping the movement in his wrist. It is not all your upper body here. It's just your hands. Less is more when it comes to the double under. And we have Peter demonstrating beautiful out and ins. So it's your jumping jacks without your arms that you go through there, which is usually the hardest time or the hardest part of it, coordinating the feet and the hands. We've seen Kevin. That man is on a whole nother level. If you don't know who Kevin is, you should be doing more classes with us, is what I'm saying. So we got Peter back into his jumping lunges here. And with your jumping lunges, you do not have to hit full extension on the transition portion. So you can stay with a little bit of a closed hip, but we have to make sure we're touching that back knee to the floor. And as best as possible, we're trying not to use our hands to push off on our working leg. So you want to try to keep your hands free of your lower body. We got Hayden moving into his power cleans. And again, on this, I'm looking for a power position when you receive those dumbbells. I know that a lot of you can muscle clean those, but we want to practice the skill of keeping it nice and a moderate intensity throughout, because when we muscle clean, it's making the movement harder. If we get a little bit of a dip there, you're not having to pull the dumbbells up as high because you're getting your body under the weight and standing it up. Now, both athletes have finished their first round, and then we're moving back to the top, because again, this is not a sprint, this is a marathon today. We got 15 minutes of work, and we're using this time to shake out our ankles, which Peter's doing right now. We are ahead of pace because Peter told me, he's like, I'm gonna aim for 5-minute rounds, and he just looked at the clock and realized that he's hitting like 4-minute rounds. So my boy gets to do a little bit more work today than what we planned, which is okay on this. So if you go into this workout with a game plan and then you realize that the combination of movements may be a little bit easier than what you expected because it looked like a bad workout and it's only kind of a bad workout in terms of how tough it is, then if you gotta adjust your pacing, that's fine. Don't get in your head and be like, I'm going too fast. Let's see if we can maintain that same pacing there. Now we are done with our lunges. We got Hayden finishing up these dumbbell power cleans, and then we're moving into our burpees. With your burpees, and anytime that you've got a large chunk of reps that you gotta do on a movement, my mindset going into that is thinking about, I got to do one more rep, because don't think about how many more that you have to do. I want you to focus on your breathing during this movement. I want you to focus on your positioning during this movement. I want you to really just embrace that next rep that you have coming your way. And then I know this sounds crazy and you're going to think that I don't know what you were talking about when I say this, but you want to try to treat these burpees as the active recovery during this workout. Now, I know that some people think that the word burpee and active recovery never belong in the same sentence together, but today they do. So right now, if you don't utilize a step back on your burpees, I encourage you to try to put a step back and a step up and see if that allows you to get your breathing back just a little bit, so you can apply yourself on your line hops, on your out and ins, on your double unders, on your single unders, on your dumbbell power cleans, or those lovely jumping lunges that we have. So both athletes are moving through these 25. You should focus on breathing, get yourself in a pattern to where you're breathing around the same time in that burpee. Chest goes all the way down to the floor, and then we have a hop at the top. Now, if burpees are too difficult and you're having too much trouble getting down, then we can take a box, and what we can do is that we can set that box up, and we can go up to that object. We can put our hands on it. I'm using a rig because I don't have a box, but you can step yourself back. You can do a push up to that object, and then you can stand back up. So we always have infinite modifications that we can put in here to make sure that we're making this workout meet us where our fitness level is, versus trying to do a skill level that's like a difficulty 10, and we just started the game, so we're still on like easy moderate mode, which that's how you get better. That's how you get better at Pac-Man. You got to do it on like the no ghost mode, and then you can do like 15 ghosts because you're a champ at it. We are currently halfway through this workout, and Peter is moving into his line step overs. And then I know he's just excited. Look at his face right now. He's excited about those jumping lunges is what it is. We got Hayden back on his double unders. I can't crack this man because he is all business today. I could try talking to him and see if I could mess him up during his double unders, but I'd be a terrible coach if I did that. So Hayden is finishing up with his 50 double unders, and then he's gonna go into his dumbbell power cleans. I'm gonna ask Peter to get a little bit more active because I'm not asking him to dance. This is not Kevin's Zumba class today. We are working on that for next year. I think it got pushed back. We had some scheduling conflicts with Kevin's agent. He had to shave the beard. We're letting it grow back. It's a whole thing, but right now we're focused on this. So we've got our step overs, our active step overs, and it's a really good point to make that we have seen Peter doing line hop or his out and ins. We switched to our line step overs to continue moving, and so that we can attempt to use that as an active recovery piece. So rather than excessively resting during a workout because we went too fast, or the workout just has a lot of volume to it, if you want to use a round to bump yourself down to a little bit of an easier difficulty of whatever that movement is, you're welcome to, because that is going to keep our intensity higher than if we rested. But if you need to rest, that is completely okay as well. Don't try to justify it to yourself why you have to rest. If your body needs to rest, you need to let yourself rest, because we're always focused on safety as our #1 priority, and making sure that we can do these movements safely and perform to the specifications and performance that we have is very important. We are currently at the 9:15 mark, so we are almost 2/3 of the way through this workout. We have both of our athletes starting round number 3, and once again, Peter is ahead of pace from what he planned on this workout. We're hitting like a 4.5 minute pace, which I will commend Peter that estimating around 5 minutes was a very close estimate on how long these rounds were gonna take. He's just too good at these jumping lunges is what it is. That's the secret. We got Hayden going through double unders, and now if you're good at double unders and you look at 50 and you're like, I can do that in my sleep, I'm gonna go unbroken every time. Do not go into a workout with the mindset that you gotta go unbroken, because if you do, the first time that you mess up, you're gonna feel like you failed. strategically, you need to think about what is gonna serve you better working off those reps. Is it 2 sets of 25? Is it a set of 20, 20, 10? Whatever would work best so that you can build in a short rest and then continue moving with that same intensity versus going to burnout, which we never wanna do unless we're doing something like death by burpees, which is terrible, terrible, terrible. We did that once. I don't think we'll ever do it again, but we might, depending on what you guys want. We've got our athletes on burpees for Peter and power cleans for Hayden, and I'm gonna make sure Hayden's receiving in that power position when he takes those dumbbells up. There we go, dipping slightly underneath those. Again, when we dip underneath those dumbbells, it allows us to only have to pull them this high versus this high, and trust me, that adds up over the course of 15 minutes. We are almost at the 11-minute mark here, and both of our athletes are on to their burpees. Now with our burpees, we are tricking you into doing a large volume, because by the time that our athletes are done with this, we have 75 reps in the books. And I'm pretty sure that if we try really, really hard, we might be able to get back to burpees. I think so, Peter. I'm right there with you. I'm on this journey with you. The same way I'm on this journey with all you guys. We got Hayden, I'm on this journey with you as well. So we committed to 15 minutes, and that's what we are doing. Now, if you're at the point at home where you're like, I did too much, I worked too fast, that is okay. What I need you to do is take a minute, get your recovery breaths in. I don't want you to quit this workout early. I want you to go all the way through the 15. So if we need to plan a minute of rest so we can grab some water, cool ourselves down for just a second, get ourselves back in control, that's what I want. And then I want you to pick up at an intensity that you can maintain for the remainder of the 3-ish minutes that we have left, because that's what it is. I gotta get you out of that mindset that if you don't do it exactly how somebody else is doing, that you're a failure, because you are not. Your journey on this fitness road is completely different than anybody else's. We're all at different points in that. So 100% from Peter looks 100% different, or looks different from Hayden's 100%, looks different from my 100%, including yours. So I just want you guys to come in, have a great time, push yourself a little bit, sweat a little bit. If you gotta crank that music up so you don't have to listen to me talk, that's fine as well. I'll keep smiling so you see this positivity coming your way. But I just want you guys to get this work in for whatever that looks like for you, because we love having you, and it makes our day to have you join us. We are at 2.5 minutes left on this workout, and we got Peter into those active step overs, and this man is getting back to those burpees. We already know that it's gonna happen. We got Hayden finishing up his burpees, and I'm gonna push Hayden after he gets off these burpees too, because I'm getting Hayden back to burpees as well. We are back into our double unders. I got a little bit of a smile from Hayden on that one, so I know that he can hear me. He's not so much tunnel vision that he can't. We're back onto our jumping lunges for Peter, and Peter is asking himself right now, what did I sign up for? I thought this was gonna be easy, but both of our athletes are pushing themselves here in the studio, just like you guys are at home, so keep up the great work. We have 1:45 left, so let's see if wherever you're at, I want you guys to get as many reps as you possibly can. If you need any rest, you're allowed to get some rest in during this last 30 seconds, because when we get to 14, there's no rest. We are going straight through. So if you gotta grab your water right now, that's fine, but we gotta move, because I need to get Peter back to these burpees. I need at least one more burpee out of you. Oh, here we go. We're back into it. We're back into it. I love it. We have 1:15 on the clock, and we are going to pick our intensity up here when we get to that 14-minute mark. So be ready. Get those deep breaths in. We've got 5, 3, 2, picking it up now. And this is where I want you to increase your intensity. I want you to step on the gas just enough that you can maintain for this entire minute. But I do not want you to get to the point where you are going so fast that you crash and burn on this. So we have to move. We got 45 seconds left here. So keep yourself going, keep yourself moving. We've got 40 seconds left. We are almost there. I know you desperately want to quit, but I need you to keep going. We have worked so hard for 14 minutes. I don't want you to waste this effort. I got Peter picking it up. I've got Hayden moving on these double unders. We got 25 seconds. I know you can give me some more, so let's keep going. We got 20 seconds. That's it. Let's move it, move it, move it. I need 15 seconds of work out of both of you, and everybody at home, keep going. We're almost there. You've got 10 seconds. This is it. Everything you got, keep pushing. We got 7 seconds left. We got 5 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1, time. And that is it. I don't know what happened, but I know that everybody in the immediate vicinity and at home is fitter. So wonderful job, guys. I was very impressed by this effort. Peter, great job. Hayden, fantastic job. Everybody at home, great work. You guys absolutely crushed it. Now you got to stick around. We got that cool down coming up next. Athletes, once again, great job on today's workout. We are still cooling down here in the studio because that last minute of this workout was amazing. And we know you guys did an awesome job in that last minute as well. Now, if this is your first time with us, we would love to have you join us every single day for workouts just like this one, and workouts that will be a little bit lower intensity to meet whatever your fitness goals are. And right now, we've got a limited time offer that you can get a free month of Mayhem Athlete programming using the code ATHOME to start your fitness journey. And you can do workouts that include CrossFit variations, functional fitness, bodybuilding, whatever your goals are, Mayhem Athlete's got your back. You'll find a group of like-minded athletes that will encourage you along your way to your goals, whether it's just to be a little bit fitter each day, pick the kids up off the floor, get the dog food off the top shelf, whatever that may be, or make it all the way to the competition floor. So join us today. Now, we got our cool down listed here, so I gotta have you stick around and do this because I know you wanna go lay down and take a nap, or you wanna go and watch TV, but you gotta take care of your body because it just took care of you. And most importantly, be good, be kind, and join us again for another great day of fitness.